There are games that entertain us, games that challenge us, and then there are games that leave a mark on our hearts. Omori is one of those rare experiences. A game that goes beyond pixels and soundtracks to weave a story so deeply emotional and profoundly human that it has forever changed the way I view storytelling in games. Today, I want to take you on a journey into the surreal and heartfelt world of Omori. A game that not only captivated me, but also touched me in a way no other game ever has. Let's explore its origins, its themes, and most importantly, its story. The story that will stay with you long after the credits roll. So Omori began as a passion project by Omocat, an independent artist and game developer. Initially conceived as a webcomic, the idea evolved into a full-fledged RPG with a successful Kickstarter campaign in 2014. But like the story it tells, the game's development journey wasn't without its struggles. Delayed for years, it became one of the most anticipated indie games by the time of its release in December 2020. The time and care poured into this project are evident in every frame of the game. From its unique art style to its beautiful soundtrack, Omori is a labor of love, and it shows. But what is Omori really about? On the surface, it's a charming RPG about a group of friends exploring a whimsical dream world. But underneath, it's a dark and deeply emotional tale about guilt, grief, and self-forgiveness. And exactly that contrast between light and dark is what makes this game so special. You play as Omori, a boy who spends most of his time in a dreamlike world filled with colorful friends and bizarre creatures. But as you delve deeper, cracks begin to form in this seemingly perfect world, and the truth about Omori's past and the trauma he's running from begins to surface. The game perfectly intertwines its dream world and the real world. The dream world is playful, nostalgic, and filled with a childlike sense of wonder, while the real world is raw, unsettling, and deeply emotional. As you switch between these two realities, the layers of the story unfold, revealing the secrets that Omori has been hiding, even from himself. What makes Omori as a game so powerful is its ability to resonate on such a deeply personal level. The game tackles themes of mental health, isolation, and the complicated dynamics of friendship and loss. It doesn't shy away from exploring the dark corners of the human experience, yet it does it with so much empathy and care. One of the most profound aspects of Omori is how it allows the player to feel these emotions rather than just witnessing them. Through its gameplay mechanics, it immerses you into Omori's head and thoughts. The battles against the inner demons, the eerie soundtrack, the visual symbolism, everything works together to pull you into this story. And the ending? Without spoiling too much yet, I'll just say it's one of the most emotionally charged finales I've ever experienced in a game. It left me sitting in silence, my heart heavy, reflecting on the journey I had just taken. So what makes Omori so unforgettable? It's not just the story, though that alone is extraordinary. It's the way the game connects with the player. It's in the relatable struggles of its characters, the beautiful soundtrack, and the contrast between its playful aesthetic and heavy themes. Few games have ever moved me as deeply as Omori did. It's a game that lingers your mind long after you've turned it off. It's a reminder of the power of storytelling in games, how they can touch our hearts and help us confront our emotions in ways we never expected. If you haven't played Omori yet, I can't recommend it enough. It's more than a game, it's an experience. One that's as beautiful as it is heartbreaking, as whimsical as it is haunting. And for me, it's a game I will never forget. So if you didn't play this game, but you want to, the next part contains major spoilers of the story, so thank you guys for watching. Omori is a deeply emotional and complicated crafted tale that takes a player on a journey through the fragmented mind of its protagonist. At its heart, the game is about loss, guilt, and the long road to forgiveness. It's a story that begins in a dream world but ultimately confronts the harsh truth of reality. You play as Omori, a quiet boy living in a strange, colorful dreamscape known as the Headspace. This whimsical world is filled with vibrant characters like Aubrey, Cal, Hero, Mary, and Basil, your closest friends. Together, you embark on light-hearted adventures, exploring fantastical lands, solving puzzles, and battling quirky foes. But beneath the cheerful surface lies a much darker story. As the game progresses, cracks begin to form in Headspace. Omori's world is haunted by strange apparitions and a creeping entity called Something. Slowly, you're pulled into the real world, where you wake up as Sunny, a reclusive boy preparing to move away in 3 days. Sunny's interaction with his friends reveal that their once close bond has fractured. Aubrey has grown bitter, Cal is desperate to hold everything together, Hero is grieving in silence, and Basil seems to be consumed by fear. Through flashbacks and memories, you uncover the heartbreaking truth. Sunny and Mary, his older sister, shared a deep connection through music. But one tragic day, a heated argument ended in Mary's accidental death. Overwhelmed by guilt and fear, Sunny and Basil staged her death as a suicide, a secret they buried deep in their hearts. The weight of this lie shattered their friendships and drove Sunny into isolation, while Basil spiraled into paranoia and self-loathing. The core of Omori lies in Sunny's internal struggle. Through Omori, his dream world persona, he represses guilt and pain. Headspace becomes a manifestation of his escapism. But it's also where he must confront his darkest memories. In the game's harrowing climax, Sunny battles Omori in a symbolic fight for control. The outcome depends on the choices you make. Will Sunny accept the truth and seek forgiveness? Or will he succumb to despair and retreat forever into his dreams? The story's duality between the colorful whimsy of Headspace and the raw emotional weight of the real world is what makes Omori unforgettable. It's not just a game about trauma, it's about healing. It's about how we cope with pain, how we seek connection even when it feels impossible, and how we find the courage to face our deepest regrets. In the end, Omori is a story of hope. Whether Sunny's journey ends in redemption or tragedy, it's a testament to the human capacity for resilience. And while the game's themes are heavy, they're delivered with such care and honesty that they leave a lasting impression. Omori is a story that will break your heart.